Hello, my fellow land-loving creatures. Welcome to my world full of Skittles. On today's video, I will be talking to you about how I lost my hearing and what I do when I'm out and about and how I use my hearing aid. So, I'm going to give you the download on how I lost my hearing aid first of all. So, I was born hearing into my family in 1996. 8 years later, in 2004, I lost my hearing. Also that year I lost my ability to read and write. So I remember from when I was 8 years old, I remember going to bed hearing and waking up the next morning not being able to hear. And I remember my dad trying everything to wake me up. He even shook my bed. I couldn't remember hearing what he would say. All I know is he was gesturing to something about school and being late. I got to school. I went through a whole load of lessons in year 4 with my year 4 teacher. It was my teacher that actually brought it to my attention, to my parents' attention, that actually I couldn't hear. So I've been going through hearing tests up till the age I was 10. And they said, hey, maybe you should try grommets. Obviously, before I tried grommets, I was actually told I was profoundly deaf and couldn't hear anything. So they tried grommets. Grommets worked for a year or so. And they're little tubes that go inside your ear. And after a couple of months to a year, they pop out and your hearing should go back to normal. So I had the operation in 2006 for the grommets. I was 10 years old when I had that. That was my first major operation. And they also took my tonsils out, and that was the old Walsgrave Hospital. And so I had grommets when I was in primary school on the way to secondary school. I went to secondary school, grommets must have popped out maybe the first year of secondary school, something like that. But all the way through secondary school, after they popped out, I struggled. I would go from one day to a couple of days not being able to hear, to some days having really good days, and then some days bad days, but it always fluctuates. So I kept going for hearing tests. Eventually I left school with D's and E's in English and Maths. And then in the rest of my core subjects like business, ICT and art and science, I got grade C because they were practical classes and I had teachers that could understand that I couldn't hear. I then went to Hinckley, where I studied performing arts because I want to be a dancer slash choreographer. And I struggled at Hinckley quite a bit. I left because of health problems. So then I went to a new college, and then halfway through second year in 2015, I had a hearing test again, and they said, right, this time we found a burst eardrum, and you can't hear in this ear from anywhere from 30 decibels, like anything from 10 decibels to 30 decibels. But you can hear from 30 all the way to like an aeroplane, which is like 1600 hertz of sound. And so they said, right, you've got a burst eardrum, we're going to do an operation, we're going to do it so you have a myringoplasty because my eardrum had burst and it dried out. And so they said, right, we're going to take a piece of tissue from the back of this ear and pop it in this ear. And so they opened me up and got a scar following my hairline now. And it was one of the major operations, I would say, on my ear. It's the first one of my major operations. And so I said, okay, do it. See if it will help me go back to swimming because I love swimming. And also if it would stop it from sounding a bit tinny and that. So I had my op. The doctor said, now that you've had your op, there could be every likelihood of you going back to being profoundly deaf in that ear, or back to how much hearing you had before you had the op. And then they said we could put a hearing aid in, which they did. Last year, around about this time, I had my hearing aid fitted, and they keep changing the sound levels on my hearing aid. I obviously have a mild to moderate hearing impairment, which means I struggle on the phone, I struggle in crowded situations, I struggle at home quite a bit, and I struggle to hear music, which I absolutely love and is part of my job. So my sister wanted to share some music with me today, and so I was like, oh, okay. I struggled without my hearing aid first, so then I thought I'd try my hearing aid. I have been wearing it on and off quite a bit, and I've noticed lately it's getting the static sound, and that's all I can hear. I can't hear it if it's not fitted in properly and makes that squeaky noise it should make. I also have it turned all the way up, which, judging to my mum, my sister and my dad's reaction, is very, very loud. So I decided to just continue struggling with lip reading, and obviously I know some sign language, which is fantastic. I'm teaching my mum. Me and my dad try and lip read very well, but he's got a beard, so he's struggling to lip read my dad. And my sister has her own way of communicating with me half the time. And so I've decided as of today I'm not going to wear my hearing aid because I feel I do not benefit from it. I thought it would be the one solution that would help, but obviously there's many solutions out there for people with hearing impairments and profound hearing loss. So I am looking forward to going to the doctors, booking a doctor's appointment to ask to be referred from the hearing clinic at my local hospital, maybe to a hearing clinic in Birmingham, and see what maybe they suggest, or going back to my hearing clinic and saying, hey, listen, this isn't working out for me, my hearing is getting worse, I do not know what to do. So I'm going to give that a clean tomorrow, as it's cleaning day tomorrow, and I'm going to leave it in its box. So that is what's been going on at the moment. Moving on from that, in the next week or two, I will be going to NAIDEX, and NAIDEX is on the 26th and 27th of March this month. It's a convention for those who run a business, or you're an OT or physiotherapist, or you're the person, like the consumer, that is buying the product. You can go to NAIDEX and you can look around different companies and their products that they use for those with disabilities, for those that work in a school environments, like teachers getting equipment for their students to make the environment more accessible to them. And you can go and have a look at equipment like wheelchairs, beds, and many other pieces of equipment. They cover the wide range of disabilities, impairments, hidden disabilities. They also have sensory rooms there, and this year they've added part of how do you make your home more accessible. So you can go in and look at that if you have your NAIDEX badge. Obviously you can get your NAIDEX badge online at the NEC Birmingham. If you don't know the website, you can always look up NEC on Google. It's the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham, obviously. And I'm excited to go because I've gone prior to this, I've been going for a long time with my mum and dad, obviously. And I'm excited to go see what they have from my perspective, but also to show you what the NEC, the NAIDEX is all about, and maybe show you some of the products that are available. So I'm excited to do that video. So I've also been cleaning up my room for that because I had someone staying over. So that's going to be exciting, and also in the next coming months I have a lot of other stuff that I can't wait to film or video for you. if I can get approved for people. There's obviously, again, it's coming up to Pride Month. I'm a big supporter of Prides. And I hope to see my friends there. So if you have any questions about any of the topics covered, or if you have a suggestion for a video you might want to see, or if you want me to do a Q&A or an introduction to who I am, please comment down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos, please subscribe. Be safe, eat well, and live life.